queen and everybody doesn't deserve access
You
to your body.
can't be a queen without a kingdom, though. We gotta be real, though.
No, you could be. There's kings without. First of all, you could be a queen without a king.
How?
Absolutely. So are you saying can you be a king without a queen?
No, you can be a king. No, you can be a king without a queen, but you can't be a king without a kingdom. You don't come from royalty.
Well, okay. Outside of that, let's just go to the part because I don't want to miss this part.
Yes, indeed, man. So Kendra G went to the Essence Fest, and her and fellow podcaster Truth Hurts got into a debate about relationships. And honestly, Kendra G still hasn't learned yet. She still hasn't learned yet. Here's the video right here. Her and Truth Hurt talking about relationships in 2026. Fair use.
Okay. So if you had to describe dating in 2026 using just one word, what would it be and why?
Ladies first?
Of course.
Okay. Delusional. I'm going to use the word delusional because, I host a dating show, Kendra G Singles, and we got the new show coming out on the Oprah Winfrey Network, Dating Download. So I've been talking to single people for the last 6 years, and I think that you can find a unicorn faster than some of the men that the ladies tell me that they're looking for. So I'm going to use delusional.
I would say that it's just complicated. That would be the word, complicated. I think that we overcomplicated, if anything. So I would just go with complicated for sure.
I like.
So it's interesting that he uses complicated and she uses delusional. I think the thing is with Kendra G is that she knows that a lot of the women are looking for these unicorns and they're delusional. But Kendra G, just like all the other women out there, you got to keep their hopes up. You can't tell them the truth, because if you tell them the truth, they're going to be mad at you, like Kevin Samuels.
Like that, complicated and delusional.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
So what would you guys say is the biggest misconception people have about dating today?
I think that we have unlimited options. Here's the deal. If you want something fun, you have unlimited options. If you want a weekend fling, I think you have unlimited options. But if you're thinking about something serious long-term, a person that if you're in the hospital tomorrow and they're showing up and you can't walk, how many people are on that list? That's not a long list. So I think we have the misconception that we just have so many options to choose from.
I'm in agreement, right? I think that a lot of women get the false belief that they have options that they actually don't. I think that a lot of women have a phone full of erections, pregnancy scares, but they don't have the options. Options to me is a roster full of men that want to marry you, court you, and treat you properly. I think one of the biggest problems with dating is they require things that they cannot provide for themselves as well.
Exactly.
But you know what? Sometimes women...
He hit it around the head a lot of times. If you can't provide it for yourself, then why would you want it from somebody else? It's called being an adult, man. A lot of times these women, man, they will say, I want this man to do this. I want this man to do that. But you live in the hood. You live in the ghetto. You work at Popeyes. But you want a man to pay all your bills.
Women do provide what they're asking for, but that could be a challenge too, because we'll get women that literally do make $300,000, literally does have her own home. So now that's her requirement for a man. And then as a man, sometimes that man that matches her wage doesn't always select her in a romantic way.
I know this about a lot of women that have their own money, right? There's a chapter in my book called it's True Accountability, right? And there's a chapter called She is Successful, She's Sexy, but She's Single.
Yes.
And the issue with a lot of these women is they expect for a man to come in and just get with their program, and it doesn't work like that. For a woman that wants a high value man, a lot of those women are going to confuse leadership with control. He's going to come in and provide structure. And a lot of self-sufficient women refuse to acclimate when a man comes in that house and provides leadership.
Can I speak to that? I know you got a list.
No, you can.
But let's...
This is the thing, man, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. Women who get with high value men, it's like pulling teeth, because you're so used to being self-sufficient, you're so used to doing everything yourself. Then when you do get a man who has his own, who's a high value man, a man who is assertive, a man who is this, you call him controlling. But at the end of the day, you have to be down with his program. You want that man, you want the top 10% man. Even if you're making top 10% money, you still need to get down with his program.
let's define high value, because I don't like the term high value, because usually high value is predicated on money, access, looks. I like the word high demand, because high demand, yes, the man with the money, the looks is desired by a lot of women. But when we say value, that's an individual thing. It goes back to what I just said a second ago. Value to me is the person that shows up for you. So you can know a rich man, he could be fine, but does he show up for you? He's actually a no value man, if you think about it that way. So we gotta rewrite this high value slogan, because that's the misconception, and that's why men are walking around with an S on their chest, because they feel like they got the money, they got the fame, they got the looks. But ladies, that's our fault, because we made them that way. We got to take that power back. If a person doesn't show up for you, that's a no value human.
May I speak?
Come on, man. Come on, Kendra. You know that it sounds good. It sounds good in theory, but you know women ain't going for that shit. Women want a man who has his shit together. They rather take a man who is high value and treat him like garbage than take a man who doesn't have a lot but treat him like gold. I'm keeping it a buck. You got women out there who would rather be side pieces to a rich man than be the main chick to a man who may be a 9-to-5 guy. I'm just keeping it a buck, man.
To that for 1 second, if you don't mind.
We're gonna have to move on.
Okay.
We're gonna move on to the next question, y'all.
For sure.
So,
for sure.
what's one dating rule or piece of advice people should retire for good?
I'm gonna let you go first.
The lady's gonna go first. We're gonna let you go every time.
Because I just talked.
It's fine. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so say it one more time. I apologize.
So, what's one dating rule or piece of advice people should retire for good?
Dating is not one size fit all. So you got to learn yourself. A red flag for me may not be a red flag for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it's so unique. I get women who don't mind if a man has other women if they're paying her bills. That wouldn't work for me. But guess what? Neither one of us are right or wrong. You got to know yourself. And you got to date according to who you are. And you got to be real with yourself. So I think putting this one size fit all rule on every individual is the mistake.
I think that we need to retire dating one man at a time. I think that's the dumbest stuff that you could possibly do.
You know what? I agree with that, but I don't believe. I say date them, but don't have sex with them.
Well, you have to compartmentalize them. And sex is just an adult thing, but you have to put people in certain brackets so you can be able to navigate it properly.
Well, sex is more than just a sex thing. Sex is also a soul tie thing. And this is why sometimes with women, when they have sex, you are allowing a soul to enter your body. And even though it might not be a good man, the soul now is a part of your system, and that's why it's hard to get it out of you. So I think you have to be very careful with who you be intimate with, not just from the soul way, but also from the health way. We don't talk enough about the true consequences when we're sexually active. Like, you don't want to share a straw with somebody, but you're going to share your body with somebody.
I agree, Kendra. I mean, Kendra dropped some good points, though. I mean, this is the thing, man. Women will go ahead and they'll stop dating one at a time. My thing is, I don't mind a woman dating more than one man. The problem is women are not upfront telling each individual man what I'm doing. I had a conversation with my coworkers, and one of my coworkers said, hey, if I'm dating multiple men, I'm gonna let them know, hey, I'm dating multiple men. And I told her I respect that, because at the end of the day, a man can make a decision. Hey, do I want to stick around? Is this woman worth me sticking around? Or should I just go ahead and exit stage left and find a woman who will just date me one at a time? But hey, let's continue.
So no, I agree with you with dating a lot of men, but I do not promote dating, having sex with all of them.
I would not encourage a woman to ever sleep with every man that she comes in contact with, right? We would hope that she would be selective. But also, I feel like a lot of women are prisoners, right, to this standard of, if I sleep with a man, I'm a hoe and I'm gonna be judged. And this is how these women become imprisoned, right, and just existing and not living. And that's the problem with a lot of these women. They get out here and they're trying to date strategically, and using your brain to date, it never work. It's emotion. It's meant to be felt. And so for me, right, I would tell these women, you got to get out here and live your life and let everything just sort out the way it's going to sort out.
Yeah, and live your life, and remember that you're a queen, and everybody doesn't deserve access to your body.
You can't be a queen without a kingdom, though. We got to be real, though.
No, you can be there's kings without. First of all, you can be a queen without a king.
How?
Absolutely. So are you saying, can you be a king without a queen?
No, you can be a king. No, you can be a king without a queen, but you can't be a king without a kingdom. You don't come from royalty.
Well, okay, outside of that, let's just go to the part because I don't want to miss this part because it's very serious. The sexual act is what is, I believe, hurting a lot of women because most women are not mature enough to have sex and just walk away like it was nothing.
They not. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm gonna tell you something, man. Ladies, women, man, if you lay that wood on them, Slim, they will, and you really give it to them, Slim, they will do anything and everything. They will curse your ass out. They will break the windows out of your cars, all that stuff. Very few women will be able to just have relations with a man and just leave. There's soul ties to that. Now you got some dudes who won't do it either, but most of the time, women, once they if it's what they expected to be and more, they won't be able to leave that man. That man got them on the string right there.
A lot of times when women allow a man into their body, they now want the dream. Like, we slept together. You're my husband. We're building a house, and he probably isn't worth any of that. So I'm just going to disagree. I definitely agree with date as many men as possible, but keep your legs tight.
I love it.
I love that.
And you don't walk away with an STD when you do that as well, okay? You get to go home bed at night STD free.
So do you all think that people today are looking for love or they're looking for perfection?
I'll go. I think that most people are dating out of a place of survival. And so because they're dating out of a place of survival, they cannot navigate these dating waters properly because they want somebody to come in and help them. And when you're looking for help, you become desperate. And in desperate times is desperate measures. I think that we have a lot of men and women that are just lost out here and they're just clinging on to anything that's willing to offer a helping hand. So that would be my thing with dating. Everybody's dating out of survival, unfortunately.
Yeah, he's right. You got guys out here who will date a woman and they don't even like the girl. But because she pays his bills, he'll stay. You got guys out here. I know guys personally who are in relationships, in marriages, and are sick to their stomach of the woman that they're dating or they're married to because it's out of survival. That woman done bought the house, that woman done got everything, and you just sitting there like a sad puppy. I tell guys all the time, this is why you get your own shit.
I think that I agree with that. I think when relationships thrive the most, codependency is the ingredient that kind of keeps it together. I think that people think they want love, but it's going to sound so cliche, but it's so the truth. Love starts with you. So the way a person treats you is the way you treat yourself. So a lot of times when women are dealing with a man and he's disrespecting you, he's not calling you back, he's doing everything but loving on you, the question you need to ask yourself is, why don't I love myself enough to release myself from this? Because that's not love. I think we give love a bad rap at times. Love is really taking care of yourself, being confident, not conceited, and having a standard that a person has to rise to the occasion. And if they don't, it's cool because I'm me.
And back to what I was saying, I think that it's hard to date for love when I need my bills paid. I think it's hard for me to date for love when my lights is getting ready to get cut off, right?
Right, and that's the codependent. No, you're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
I agree with.
You're dating out of necessity. You're not dating out of pure love. You're dating out of a necessity.
That's why I said the codependency. That's why sometimes with women, and you talked about this in your book, when you do well financially, she might be single because the one thing that usually keeps her is her lights are off. Well, baby, my lights are on. The whole year's paid off. Okay, the house is paid off. So you can't get me with finances. So now you got to get me with being genuine. You got to get me with treating me right. You got to get me with monogamy. And sometimes that's more difficult for a man. A man sometimes would rather pay to disrespect you than to treat you right and be monogamous.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that a lot of women, right? I think that they've stopped dating for love because they've dated for love and ended up with nothing in return.
Yes.
So now it's
That's
like,
true.
well, you know what? You're going to give me something. I'm going to leave here with something.
Yeah.
Because loving you wasn't enough. A lot of women love men, right, for the potential of the man, or they look at him and say, I'm going to build him up, and they never got anything. So they look like it has to be transactional now.
Yeah, and that's the problem with today's dating market. I mean, women have gotten bedazzled by a lot of men, and they're like, you know what? I got to get what I can get now because at the end of the day, these dudes that treated me wrong, and this is why women turn cold. This is exactly why women turn cold because these guys out here finessed them, and they got with these different guys, and sometimes women, these guys will show the shit when you first meet them, but they blind to the fact. So they like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do my own goddamn thing.
Refuse to be empty-handed. For
I
sure.
totally agree with that. They're scoring, so now they're like, I'm gonna get a bag this
Absolutely.
time. I mean, I was crying, I didn't even get a purse. I get
Absolutely.
So, okay, we're going to do a little rapid fire round. So I'm going to throw out a few topics and you give me your answer first and then tell me why. Dating apps, helpful or harmful?
I'll let you go first.
I think that it makes people. I think it's harmful, and I tell you why.
Oh, he said
Yes,
horrible.
tell me
I think it's
Tell me
harmful,
why.
and I'm gonna tell you why. I think that it makes people socially awkward. For one, we need to get out the house and engage more. Also, but it leaves people in this space of being a prisoner to comfort. When you're comfortable, you won't change. You're gonna stay right there. Women wish they can just Amazon a man. They wish they could just DoorDash a man to their house, and it'll never work.
Yes. So I own a dating app. Kendra G
Oh,
Singles, the dating app. And the reason I support it, no, it's okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you. I want you to be your truth.
Absolutely.
So that's what I love about you. My dating app is unique, though. It's not the regular dating app. It has the show. So this year alone, I have 4 weddings from people who are getting married that met from my dating app that would have never met any other way, because what the show does, you know, I have prime example. I have a doctor that was in New York, and I had a girl that was in Indianapolis, and they got married because she came on the show, and now they have a beautiful family together. So all the weddings this year, I'm going to literally Antigua in 2 weeks. Another girl, she was living, I want to say, in Baltimore, and her husband is a doctor. He's in New York. They're getting married in 2 weeks in Antigua, and they met from my dating app. So the difference with the Kendra G Singles dating app is the show. So it gives you a chance to see the person around the world. And then a girl, I just got back from a wedding like in May. A girl got married in Paris. She was in Paris. Her husband was in DC. He relocated to Paris to meet her, and they would have never met if it wasn't for my dating app. So everything he said about dating apps is true, except for the Kendra G Singles.
And let me.
app.
You know, this is the thing though, man. She plugged in her app real. Kendra G, I ain't gonna lie, man. This chick, she's a master finesser, man. But you know, I think the reason why her app works so well is because she has a show. If she didn't have the show, the app would be some garbage. The app would definitely be some garbage. But dating apps as a whole, it basically, I think what it does, it just gives people that false sense of security. Like, you know, I don't need to go out and meet somebody. I can just swipe left and swipe right. You don't know nothing about the person. All you see is a picture and a profile. Instead of going out to places and meeting people organically. Most of my relationships that I've had is because I went out and met the woman organically.
Just, man, I said, and no, her dating app is exceptional, right? It wasn't, but her dating app is the exception, is not the standard.
I love you.
And we know for a fact that long distance relationships are rough. It's hard to
Yes.
maintain a relationship under the same roof,
Yes.
let alone in Paris and Baltimore. I'm not saying that.
No,
for sure.
he's absolutely right. And what I'm talking about, they all moved. So what I'm saying is they met initially, they were in these
for sure.
places. But you're absolutely right.
Absolutely.
For something serious and real, someone's going to have to sacrifice and make
Absolutely.
that move. And that is right. And I do want to co-sign. People do get comfortable at times with dating
Absolutely.
apps. You could be anybody with a filter. But honey, who are we without the filter, without the hair, without the makeup? That's that real stuff.
Absolutely.
And you got to have that real stuff to have a real relationship.
Okay. If they wanted to, they would. Fact or fiction?
Facts.
Facts.
Super fact.
Facts.
Super fact.
Facts.
Absolutely.
No argument. It's really that simple. Like, it's really that simple. And don't be affected if they're not doing it. They just don't want you. But it's okay because they got bad taste because you know you the shit. Ooh, I forgot we don't swear essence.
Let me say
Beat
this
that
for
out.
every woman that's in the crowd right now. If a man is not trying to impress you, he does not like you.
Yeah.
If he is not trying to impress you, he does not like you. And I'm not saying that he has to be rich, but if he work at Popeyes, he's going to put extra biscuits in your bag. You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly. I ain't gonna lie. If I really like a woman or if I'm really into a chick, I'm gonna do everything possible to make sure that I'm impressing her. It ain't gotta be money. It could be things like, you know, if I know she likes a certain, like she like roses, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get roses delivered to her job. I'm gonna get roses delivered to her house. Or if I know she likes a certain food, I'm gonna cook the certain food for her. Those are small little things that a man will do if he really, really likes you. He's going to try to impress you and make you feel like you're the one of one.
He is going to go out of his way to show you just what you mean to him. Extra jelly, honey on the side. He should be trying to impress you or get him away from you.
I love that.
All right. Chemistry or compatibility? Which one matters more?
Ooh. I think this is difficult Let me tell you why it's difficult. Because again, when we go back to the time when marriage was high, it was survival, kind of what he said. Like, first of all, you didn't have social media, so you just had to be the baddest woman on your block. You had to be the baddest in your high school, maybe the baddest in college. That was all. Like, your grandmother was the baddest man that your grandfather saw. Now we have social media where men are looking at women every single day. So I think chemistry, at times people go towards, but you can have chemistry with a mass murderer. You know, you can have, like, because sometimes, let me tell you why, it's that bad boy, it's that thrill, it's that exhilaration, but you can't be compatible with a mass murderer. You're going to either be dead or in jail. Those are the options, right? So I would say compatibility, but I think that's the one at times where if attraction's not there, if money's not there, they're going to overlook that option.
I think that chemistry gets us through the night. Compatibility gets us through a lifetime.
Yeah, okay.
As
I
long
like that
as
answer.
That's true.
chemistry gets
I
us
like
through the
that.
night. I meet you, we vibe. I like you, you like me. We exchange energy. Cool. But if we're not compatible, a lot of people are waking up to people that they can't stand, and that's because they skipped
Yeah.
the friendship process. So that's a whole nother can of worms. But definitely, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Compatibility has always been the thing to me. If I don't rock with you and you don't rock with me, then it's not gonna last. Yeah, you could be cool with somebody, you could like somebody's vibe and all that shit. But if I'm not compatible, we're not compatible, then that's what's going to take it to the next level.
Okay. Biggest red flag and biggest green flag.
What, in dating?
Huh?
And what?
Biggest
Relationship.
red flag, I don't like liars. And I know we say that we are, like, I want you to be truth with me. So it gives me the opportunity to make a real decision. Although I don't think a lot of people want the truth. Because even in my dating show at times, when men in particular say their truth, they get a lot of pushback from women. Women have the grace. Y'all get to say, he got to be 6 feet, he got to make 100K, he got to do all these things. But when a man says, I want her to be skinny, or I want her to have her real hair, or I want her to wear no makeup, a lot of women feel away. And I'm like, no, they got to have the grace. So I think, for me, a red flag is not being honest. Green flag is being truthful. Tell me the truth and allow me to make the decision.
A red flag for me would be a lack of support. I need support.
Yes.
One of my love languages, and it's an extra one that's not actually in the list, right? But I am big on reciprocation, right? I want you to love me like I love you. I want you to pour into me like I pour into you. I'm big on that. I made a post where I said I do not do nonchalant people, right? Like, you got to be chalant about me. I want you to be crazy about me like I'm crazy about you. And so that would be a red flag for me. A green flag, compatibility. We got to be compatible. You got to match my drive. You got to match my drive. You got to match my grind. So yes, absolutely, compatibility.
I love that. I love that. So I want to see where the audience stands on this conversation. So I want to show of hands for each question I'm going to ask. Who thinks dating apps have made dating harder? I want you guys to react.
You know it has, because it's giving more options. So it kind of says what I just said about now, before your grandmother just had to be the baddest woman in your city, now you got to be the baddest woman in the world. And it's truthful. Like, it was a doctor in New York, and all the girls in New York weren't good enough for him. He ended up marrying a girl that was in Indianapolis. So what dating apps do, I hate the word competition, but it increases the options for the type of person you want to date to have.
Okay. The next question. Who believes the person who asked for the date should pay?
But what if the woman asked for the date?
She should pay.
No, she should not.
Yes,
No,
she should.
not.
She absolutely
No.
should.
Hold on. A woman.
Yeah, she should. Yeah, she should. Yeah, she should. She should pay. My thing is, if you ask me out on a date, if a woman, I've never had that, but if a woman asks me on a date, you gonna pay. You gonna pay. You want a man to pay? If you ask a man out and you want him to pay, that makes no sense at all. That makes no sense at all. And most of the time, men are going to be the one to ask anyway.
I mean, listen, if it don't gotta be an expensive date. It doesn't have to be an expensive date, okay? You can go to somewhere. I believe you could go to Dunkin' Donuts and have a conversation.
So why can't you pay?
But I feel like if a man wants you to pull out your pocket on the first date, to me, that's very telling. And I don't think a man that really wants to court a woman, because men take pride in being providers. So I'm not saying if a woman makes the gesture like, hey, are you free for lunch? Okay, go to lunch. Go to Applebee's. It could be $20. But no, I don't believe a woman, not the first date. Now, when you're in a relationship, you're going to probably pay, y'all in a partnership. But that first date, No, the man should pay.
We got any female bosses in the audience? Any females that got their bag right in the audience?
Baby,
And
I got
Kendra,
a
I'm
large
speaking to the
bag.
audience, man.
Okay, but go ahead.
And for the female bosses in the audience, it ain't about nothing if I want to take you to Dunkin' Donuts. It ain't about nothing if I want to take you to Applebee's, because big girls play by a different set of rules. I wanted to take him out and I did it. And it's not about anything.
Does that close?
It's not about anything, because this is the thing. You're trying to get to know that person. But my thing is, most of the time, men pay anyway. What's wrong with a woman paying once in a blue moon? Especially when the woman asks. If the woman asks, which I mean, I've never had, why shouldn't she pay? See, this is where Kendra G gets messed up at, because she thinks because the woman asked that the man should pay. The man 9 times out of 10 asks, but that one time that the woman asked, she should pay.
What's the deal?
In what way? Did you
Like, I mean, if the woman wants something long term, her paying for the date, does the deal close? Like, does she end up being in something serious, long term, like all of that?
I'm going to be honest. I think it would set her apart. I think it would make her stand out. I think it would make me say, oh my goodness, I'm appreciated for once. I paid for the last 9,000 dates. Somebody thought enough of me to get me some munchkins from Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. She might get married.
But this goes back to what you just said a second ago.
No, man, before Kendra G continue, man, that, women don't understand that if you do something like that for a man, that will go a long way. You can buy a man a hamburger, Slim, and he will be like, yo, remember that time you bought me a hamburger? That time you bought that from Five Guys and you treated me. I remember most of the times women treated me more than the times I treated women or took women out. The times I took women, I rarely remember, but the times the women actually took me out, I'm not talking about pay for it. Those are the times I remember.
That so many women are so scorned because they have done that, right? There's a lot of women that have paid for first dates, paid for trips, paid for a lot of things when it came to a man, and then you see him with another woman and you're like, I invested all this money into this guy. I think if a man is serious about you, he's going to be okay with spending $30 on a breakfast date. And if he can't spend $30 on a breakfast date, I don't think he's the one.
Okay, y'all, we're about to close.
I know. We could go more.
Yes, yeah, we
Okay,
sure
we're
can.
gonna close.
Yeah, this is the problem, man. And Kendra G, man, she tries to toe the line and say, men are this and women are that and all that. But at the end of the day, that last question, that last little seance, man, shows me everything I didn't know about her. Like, you know what I'm saying? If the woman asks, she should pay. And these social media apps and all these things, this is why dating is so messed up now. Because at the end of the day, we don't really get it. We don't really get it as people. When you're in clothes like that, that's why, people are by themselves and are mad at people and mad at each other, because they don't associate no more. They don't get out no more. But hey, let me know what you think about the video. It's your boy Jay here with another one. Hit that like button, the subscribe button. Also, leave a comment below. Until next time, folks, I'm out. Just don't sit there. Click on the next video. You won't regret it. I promise you.